What's up, brother? It's your boy, Mike Muse. Welcome to the Conversation, the Mike Muse Show. I am so excited to be in conversation with my next guest. I have always wanted to have her on my show, and every time she was doing her rounds, I was like, please pick me, pick me, pick me, and finally she picked me, and I feel so honored, and I'm so excited to be in conversation with the award-winning, the always comedic every time she steps onto the screen. And I'm noticing, too, as we've been getting this interview, setting up, she has a little bop to her, and she definitely knows music. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Jane Lynch. What's happening?
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so honored to have you on my show. I have always wanted you on my show for such a long time.
Well, I'm so glad to be here.
I respect your comedic chops. I love the way you come onto the screen and you just own it in your own way. It's like effortlessly. It's like not trying to own the scene, but just your mere presence alone owns it.
Well,
and so it's an honor.
Oh, well, you make me blush.
Oh, how could I make you blush, my friend? Listen, you were up here jamming.
Yes.
You authentically love music.
I do.
As soon as the beat dropped, you started to move.
The shoulders started going.
Yeah.
First it was one shoulder, and then it was both. And then before you know it, I'm driving the bus.
Talk to me about your musical journey. Like, I have such an interesting relationship with the music. Like, I can't move. I can't get out of the bed without immediately turning on my music. I can't leave my house without setting my playlist I'm going to listen to in my ears as I'm walking. That's my relationship. What is your relationship with you? Is it always on with you?
It's on in my head. I don't always play music, although I got up this morning to do my makeup for this day, and I put on a Pandora station, Duke Ellington.
Ooh.
So, and that went all over that genre, and it was just a wonderful thing to wake up to. So I love that. I love jazz. You know, I love Ella Fitzgerald. I love all the late 50s, early 60s studio singers. And
wow, you're moody.
Yeah, I can get moody, yeah.
Very
exactly,
moody.
Yeah.
And the Duke Ellington in the morning, that sets a tone.
It does set a tone.
Did you have coffee with it?
Oh, of course I did. And a Celsius.
Ooh.
Both.
You're like wired right now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Your heart is racing.
Yeah, it is. And they got me a coffee for the car, so I am fit to be tied.
You're just constantly wired, my friend. I know you love 70s music. What is it about 70s music?
Well, I grew up with 70s music, and when I don't know if kids today have this, but it's the soundtrack of your life, because we all listen to AM radio, and you would know the top 10 songs. Like, I didn't always know, you know, that was a Kansas song or that was a Chicago song, but I would know the song. And so it kind of brings back those memories. Yeah. I know all the words. I learned to harmonize from pop music. So, yeah, it's a big deal. I like to drive playing the bridge on Sirius.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a terrific
shout
station.
Shout out to the bridge on Sirius.
Yeah.
Well, Jane, this is interesting. I got asked a question at a dinner party recently, and I'm kind of piggybacking off what you said, and they asked me, what is the album that shaped my life? Ooh. And I had never been asked that question before, right? Yeah. And I honestly couldn't answer it with one singular album. I'm just wondering, for you, is there an album of the 70s that shapes your life?
There is, and
is
that, you know, albums in the 70s were stories.
Let me edit that. Coming of age.
Coming of age, yeah.
That was that.
And I think when I was a kid, albums were stories within themselves. So one album absolutely could move you, and that was Tapestry for me. Carole King's Tapestry.
Yes.
It was the first album I ever bought with my own money, and I knew every breath of that album, and still know every breath of that album. Some great pop songs. You know, she does the great kind of gospel songs that she kind of turns into bluesy rock and roll songs, and so that kind of shaped my life.
Was it the storytelling? What was
well,
like,
I mean, the last song on it is Tapestry, and the first lyrics are, "My life has been a tapestry of rich and royal hue." And it talks about weaving in the fabric of your life your experiences. And, you know, I was young, but I got it.
You understood it. You were an old soul then.
Yeah, in that moment anyway.
To understand the tapestry of it. I think that's something we all would love, that our life is full of richness.
Yeah,
I don't know. Tapestry of experiences, not necessarily in like economic means.
Let me ask you a question about music.
Yes.
When you buy an album now, like we were just listening to Beyonce's latest album, and that's fantastic. And but do they tell stories like in my day? Like you buy an album and it I don't know, it just kind of has a trajectory and it has a flow. And
that's such a great question. Some artists of today do tell stories, and their albums are very thematic.
Okay.
Like, we'll lean into Beyonce for a second. So Beyonce's Cowboy Carter is a thematic discovery of country music and the origins of country. You look at her previous album, Renaissance, it was really about the origins of house music and the different subgenres of house music. I think if you look at Adele,
Yes, Adele, for
tells
sure.
a really thematic story, and also too Taylor Swift tells a thematic story. And what I love about Taylor is she, along with Beyonce too, are reminiscent of, I believe, like the 80s pop stars and the 90s pop stars, like Madonna. Every album showed you where she's at in her life. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't
Janet
like a linear
Jackson.
story, but it would be just kind of a...
It is.
Yeah, I remember kind of like encountering an album when I was a kid. It might not be like a cause and effect kind of story, but in my own imagination, it created a whole. And the art on the cover of the album was so important too, and said so much.
I remember the notes. I used to read the liner notes.
Yeah, me too.
I used to love to see who they thanked, because I thought that gave me a window into their soul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like the gratitude, who in their circle they liked and they loved. But to your point now, the radio industry, the music industry is so singles driven, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's about streaming. And so now it's about tricking the algorithm.
Yeah.
So you want to put as many tracks on your album as possible. So now artists have 20, 25, 30 albums, 30 songs at one time on their album, just in order to get the streams going and to trick their algorithm.
Oh,
so it's changed.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
I do miss the complete albums.
Yeah.
I really do. And that's why when you get these artists, you wonder why they have staying power. Like, you wonder why Beyonce and Taylor and Adele are exactly where they are. Surprising enough, are you ready for the next album that has a thematic theme? It's Jay-Z's.
Oh,
it's
really?
444.
Oh, what's that?
444 is this, you're talking about coming of age. I think this album is his coming of age into who he is as an adult.
Okay.
Right. And using your word tapestry, like Carole King, and really weaving in the richness of his life and really telling the story of it. And so I think that is something interesting.
Takes the music to a level of artistry as opposed to just kind of pumping out something to fool the algorithm. And there might be perfectly beautiful songs, but it's like the beauty of the song or the statement isn't necessarily the point anymore.
Wait, so is that why you enjoyed Glee so much? Now that we're talking, I didn't know you had such a strong musical constitution.
Yeah,
so
and what
Glee
I love,
must have been really special for you.
Glee was a big deal because, well, first of all, I learned I kind of not up on pop music today.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot of the songs that were popular in 2010 through 2015 when we did the show. But Ryan Murphy, the creator of the show, loves 70s music. He's a little bit younger than I am, but he grew up with the same songs I did. So, like, Journey was our first song. It's Don't Stop Believin'. Yeah.
That is. I mean, obviously, Glee was just a big show for what Glee was, but just in the conversation that we're having right now, I'm seeing a different layer to Glee for you now, your relationship with music. I kind of want to go further than just using music as a metaphor and a vehicle to get into some of this stuff. You mentioned that you were listening to Duke Ellington this morning, and I used to play a saxophone in high school.
Oh, did
Not
you?
currently,
Oh,
but I
wonderful.
used to be in the jazz band, all-state jazz band. Some would say I was pretty good,
I'll
if
bet.
you will.
I bet you were.
But jazz is about improv.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And so I'm wondering your relationship to jazz, because your improv is incredible, Second City,
Thank
right?
you.
Like your background. Talk to me.
Well, jazz is an improv of music.
Yeah.
And like improv comedy, you have to really have your chops. You can't be a great jazz player if you don't know your scales and you don't know the explore your instrument and work well with others. Because it's about listening. And you know, like you listen to the drummer. When the drummer goes off, I'm like, how are they all going to stay together? And they do.
Yeah.
And he goes off onto some theme. So you kind of have to establish. It's like it's creating in a cage. You build a cage, and then you create yourself or express yourself freely within that. Yeah. I mean, you really have to know your instrument in order to earn the right to improvise. And I think improv comedy is like that too. We always say yes and whatever your fellow actor says to you on stage, you don't deny it. Like if I say stick 'em up and I point my finger at you like a gun, and if I were to say or you were to say to me, oh, that's not a gun, be like, come on, man.
That is true. That ruins the moment.
It ruins the moment, and there's nowhere to go with that. Yeah.
Play with it.
Play with it. It's about play. It's about being childish and, well, childlike. And
losing your ego.
Yeah, losing your ego and becoming a whole, becoming a part of a whole. Yeah, absolutely.
I like the analogy of the drummer because you're absolutely right. Sometimes I'm watching when the drummer's in a pocket and the drummer does his solo.
Yeah.
It's like, how does the band get back together?
Yeah.
Or like sometimes you'll still have the pianist will still be playing the chords.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they won't. It all depends upon the moment.
Yeah.
But they always strike right back.
They know where they
time.
are. They know, they can feel the song. They feel the song. They feel the time of the song, the rhythm of the song, and they can go anywhere within that. And it sounds like they're going off into the stratosphere, but they are staying within a confine of a song.
But I even like how you said, though, this is such a good analogy. I love how you said that, you know, even to be a great jazz improvisationist. I just made that conjugation up. But let's just go with it. Let's just go with it.
Absolutely.
I would try and conjugate anything. I would put an ing or ly on any word. But they have to know the chords. They have to know the music.
Yeah.
And they also too have to know what their fellow bandmates are doing and what they're capable of to really come out of the improv moment. I think the same thing will have to be true with scripted and comedy, right? When you're in the ensemble.
Yeah, you have to really listen to each other and really support each other as someone is going off. You know, if, when the drummer goes, you know, a little crazy within the confines of the song, maybe the bass player is staying steady. You know, but I think everybody has it in their body too. You've kind of got the beat inside.
How does that relate to like how you bring that mentality into so many different tapestries of roles that you have, right?
Yeah.
What I've loved about your career is that you have played so many different characters in so many different ensembles and sometimes at the same time, right? Like, how do you bring that into each role in your tapestry?
Well, I come prepared, and I think that every actor who loves doing what we do would say that I'm really prepared. I know what my lines are, or if I'm improvising, you prepare by being open and really listening, and you know, kind of allowing your right brain to be free, and your left brain though is holding down the fort.
Wow.
While you kind of go off. But when I do, like I'm in an ensemble comedy in a play, or on a television show, you're really listening to each other. You're responding to it. You know, it's like I throw you the ball, and then I catch it and throw somebody else the ball. Even though maybe it's scripted, but it should be alive in the moment.
A play, Tony Award winning.
Yeah.
On that one. Talk to me about what the audience is for you, like when you're on Broadway.
The audience,
how that changes.
Well, the audience is like another number in the equation. They're a part of it for sure, and you miss it or are aware of it when you're acting for a camera. It's a whole different vibe, but it energizes the whole thing, and you don't always get laughs at the same place, but you have to be inside the moment, no matter what.
I've never thought about this in context, but since it's you, I'm just curious. Oftentimes, obviously, Broadway is scripted, right? But as you just said, the audience often changes the equation. It's almost like the X factor. If you're feeling the audience in the beginning, does it change your inflection sometimes and how you're going to deliver?
It might. It probably does.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about it too.
Of course not. But
yeah, I'm sure that it does. But one of the greatest lessons I learned from acting was that everything should have the illusion of the very first time. So that play, even though we've done it 100 times, it comes alive as if for the very first time every time the lights come up. It starts fresh. Yeah. Like it never happened before.
It's like a new beginning.
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day every time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Was that why you love doing game shows?
I love
because audience, she's actually here to not talk about jazz or improv. She's actually here to talk about her hosting Celebrity Weakest Links airing right now on Fox. And so I'm just curious because there has to be so much improv.
Well, now it's Celebrity, but even before when I was hosting it with Normal Folk, every show has a different feeling. Every show moves differently. Every show has its own rhythm, and it will end up with its own flavor, and that's definitely the case in this season with celebrities. In fact, we have different themes for every episode, and each show feels completely different. But there is a game that has rules. I do certain things, I say certain things, and then within that, we go a little, we can go free and improvise. But it's very much like jazz.
Yeah. Who is easier to play with? Is it the celebrities or the non-celebrities?
Well, it's celebrities because there's their game, if you will. Yeah. They know how to be a part an ensemble and how to listen to each other. And like we had the roast comics, we had 8 roast comics, and it was it's the funny. It was a hoot because they all worked together. Yeah. They would be insulting each other and insulting me, but always yes and.
Yeah,
it was really great.
Yeah. I was wondering, do you think, are the non-celebrities, are they a little bit more sensitive to some of your jokes?
Not really. No, they're kind of like, give it to me.
Oh.
Give it to me, baby.
See, you are music. How was it with the reunion with Glee?
Oh, it was great. We kind of all see each other now and again, so wonderful. It wasn't like the first time. Yeah, we all stick together. We're pretty close, and so I probably seen all of them at some point, but it was really great to be back on stage together and to relive those stories. And yeah, it was wonderful.
To see what Glee did, I think Glee was so transformative in so many ways. I think Glee actually connected the viewers back to music.
I agree. And not just high school kids.
Yeah.
I would hear from, when the pilot played, I would hear from people my age that it moved them so deeply. And I think the big reason, and this is why good music works and good acting works. I think the big reason is because in the choir room of McKinley High, everybody has your back. It's a place like out in the halls, you're getting hit with slushies, you're being thrown into a locker, you're being made fun of, you're being bullied, but you get into that choir room and you've got a football player there, you've got the gay kid, you got a kid in the wheelchair, you got a couple of Asian kids, African American kid, and maybe they got some grief out in the hall, but not in this room.
Yeah.
They raised their a joyful, what is that? Make a joyful noise.
Make a joyful noise.
Yeah.
A music reference again.
Yeah.
Music is in your soul.
Oh, it is. Yes. Oh, I love it.
I used to be, I had this interesting dichotomy. I was the band geek, but I also too like the cool, I straddled the cool kid line, right? It was just that thin line between, right?
That's a tough line to walk.
Super geeky, super jazz band, drum major, my marching band, but also too homecoming king.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. And so it was like this thin line of band geekiness. But it was interesting as we're talking about this, randomly I'm thinking about my Everett High School, is that we were off in the corner. Like literally just the physical space of it, naturally because of instrumentations and you're playing, so you need to be off to the side.
Right.
But it was the choir kids, it was the drama kids, it was the band kids, and we're just all hanging out like in our outsider corner.
And when a popular kid like you becomes one of them, it helps legitimize them, and that it makes them feel. That's why I loved Glee, is that we had like probably he would have been the homecoming king too, but we had the captain of the football team.
Yeah,
turns out he's a great singer.
Yeah,
and he joins Glee Club.
I think Glee helped normalize.
I do too.
And to see like outsiders as in, right, and just normal.
Yes.
In a weird way, some of the things, as I'm thinking about this right now, not in a weird way, but an interesting way, Best in Show was almost the same.
Yeah.
In a funny, satirical
weirdos
way.
In their own world.
Like I never grew up with a dog. I never grew up with an animal. Like I had goldfish and the fun thing your parents get you.
Not the same.
Yeah, totally not the same.
Dog, yeah.
But I didn't have an understanding of people's relationships to animals.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about Best in Show
is
I
think that was a satirical moment to see that.
They had a relationship with those dogs, but they were kind of like royalty. Oh. They weren't like your dog that you go, come here. We weren't allowed to talk to those dogs. You weren't allowed to touch them.
No way.
They were considered like elevated beings.
No way.
Yeah, and that's why Chris Guest wanted to do the movie. He was at the dog park with his mutts.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he was at the dog park with his mutts, and there was a purebred dog, and the owner wouldn't allow the purebred dog to play with his muddy dogs. So that's where it came from. So the dog show people, these dogs are like royalty. Yeah, you're. In fact, they say you have to ask to pet them. So I remember the dog I'm working with, the poodle, I asked the owner, I said, can I pet the dog? And she said, no.
Wait.
And I'm working with the dog.
No.
Mm-hmm. She said, no.
Jane
with
Lynch,
a smile.
If I didn't know your constitution, I would say you're lying.
Yeah, it's the truth.
What?
It's the truth. Yeah.
Oh, that makes the movie even better now.
Isn't it? Yeah. And they're very weird people. and a kind of a microcosm of society, where
So I take it back. That one doesn't
it's
moderate
it's not about woof woof woof. Your dog is so cute and
none of that.
Yeah, none of that.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah.
My most shameful story, and I'm not going to keep you, but my most shameful story with understanding the relationship with animals, I thought was through the prism of Best in Show, but
no, that's weird.
That's been erased. But it was with my college professor. I was right before midterms, and I was having difficulty really grasping the subject that we're going to be tested on. And so I asked him for office hours, like the day before the exam. And he said, sure. So that I go into his office, and he's sitting there very emotional. And he says, Mike, I have to cancel our session. And I was just like, oh my God, we can't. Like, this test is tomorrow. And he says, yes, I'm just so sorry. My wife called and my dog died. And Jane, I did the most horrendous thing. I laughed and said, you're clearly not going to cancel this because your dog died. And I saw his reaction, and I was like, oh, fuck. I think
hilarious.
I just made a mistake, right?
But you didn't know.
I didn't know, and I
There are
apologize.
babies. It's like losing a child. You wouldn't have known if you didn't grow up, if you grew up with a goldfish.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I learned very quickly that pets are part of the family.
Yeah.
They're just not your goldfish that you flush down the toilet when you're 5
and then you're
years
over
old.
it. Yeah, right.
Then you're over it, and then you move on.
Yeah.
Jane Lynch, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
This has been such a fascinating conversation.
Thanks.
I'm so excited for your career, and you have this beautiful tapestry.
Thank you
and
so
I love
much.
to see it.
Yeah.
Audience, make sure you see her on Fox with Celebrities Weakest Links. It is on air now. Until next time, folks. Peace.